Are we on? Okay. Mr. Rechtenwald, before we get started, let's think, we need some music.
We can rock it out.
I think we will. Kick it up a notch. Yeah.
That was pretty horrible.
Talk about a buzzkill. Okay. Good evening. It's been a long day, so here we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. We're going to call this meeting back to order. We've just been in a recess. And the purpose of our hearing, Mr. Rechtenwald, I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair and Honorable Council. Tonight, our public hearing is for public comment on our proposed budget, which is required by Florida statute. We'll have 10 taxing funds that will require a vote for the millage rate. The general fund will be presented at the rollback rate, and the remaining funds are at last year's rate. The elected officials' budget requests were all fully funded. To address the public safety service response, we have in the budget, we'll have 8 EMT positions, as we've talked about in the past, and for 2 basic support BLS, in other words, ambulances. Also, this budget reflects our continuation of our pay-as-you-go for capital projects with the general fund. We'll have our public safety projects of the 800 megahertz backbone, which we've been diligently working behind the scenes to get ready to go out. We have, of course, our medical examiner building. We have the sheriff CAD records and management system, the sheriff's 911 next generation included, and also the corrections jail network projects that are in there. Before the night, I want to say now, before we get into it, I want to thank, first off, all the staff that has worked through the year to put this budget together. These things, like I say, start all the way really around Christmas time, and they work steady through the year to develop this. And then special thanks, of course, to the Management and Budget Office for all their hard work. You know, these are people behind the scenes that have to put all this together. And it's not easy, and there's a lot of back and forth with departments and to get ready for tonight. So I want to thank them as we get started. So with that, I would like to turn it over to our Management and Budget Director, Tammy Bong.
Good evening, council members. To begin today's process, I wanted to just read the rates into the record for your consideration and for the public that may be listening on the internet. The general fund ad valorem tax rate is presented at 5.6944 mils, which is equal to the rollback rate. The library fund tax rate is 0.5520 mils, or 70.5% greater than the rollback rate. The Volusia Forever operating fund is presented at 0.0994 mils, 17.9% greater than the rollback rate. And Volusia Forever, which is required for your debt service obligations, is presented at 0.1006. The Volusia Echo Fund is presented at 0.20, which is at the voter referendum rate. Your East Mosquito Control is presented at 0.1880, which is 6.8% greater than rollback. Ponce de Leon Port Authority is presented at 0.0929 mils, which is 6.8% greater than rollback. The Municipal Service Taxing District is presented at 2.2399 mils, or 6.7% greater than rollback. Silver Sands Bethune Beach is .0150 mils, or 7.1% greater than rollback. Fire Rescue District is presented at 4.0815 mils, or 6.7% greater than the rollback rate. And with that, we wanted to discuss and present to you some of the variances of your general fund. Yep. So this is a representation of your general fund ad valorem taxes. And this is taking what you collect in ad valorem and allocating it based upon the core services of general governmental operating purposes. So at the top, we talk about core governmental services, also known as public safety. They represent about 70% of the allocation from your general fund. So it goes from 119 to 128, or an 8.5% increase. The next area are things that are required within the governmental entity, and the CRAs, of course, is one of them, that the money comes in and then goes right back out, but is incorporated into our rates. And then you have all of the things that are your elected officials, property appraiser, tax collector, elections, alcohol and mental health. These are all things that are required by Florida statute type activities. And then, of course, the other services, those are things that are considered things that you must do in order to have a county government. So your leadership would be everything from your county council to your county administration, your legal department, and so forth. And then the other areas that county council has made a priority through past experience of what they wanted to make sure that we funded. Efforts of the economic development, you have to have an audit every year, you have to do value adjustment boards, the Florida statute as well, Marine Science Center, and then of course the maintenance of your public works facility. And that was your general fund allocation. And with that, I would like to turn it back over to County Council for public participation or any comments.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bong. Appreciate that. I'll leave this up there though, because this is our guiding document, if you will. This is the executive summary of the budget, and it's a long process getting there. And we're going to do, first of all, public participation. Do we have any cards for public participation?
No.
Is there anybody within the public that would like to address council now? Well, I'm going to open it up one more step. Is there any department head that would like to talk to it's okay. We're really tired, so it's, if you want to talk to us, now is a really, really good time
Maybe borderline delirious.
to do it, yeah. Is there anybody that would like to address council? And I'm making that offer because I have heard that we had one department head, and I don't see the sheriff here, who said that he was not afforded the opportunity to come to the microphone at the last budget. So I want to go on the record. If anybody would like to speak to council at this time, you are more than welcome. And looking at this budget too, it can't go without notice yet again that the biggest increase here has been by this council and staff in support of our deputies, of a 16.4% increase at an extra $7.265 million, where a lot of other departments took a decrease, including our justice system that went down 2.5%, and several other departments. Just know that that doesn't go unnoticed. So with that, if nobody chooses to speak to council, I'm going to ask one more time, and then I'm going to close public participation, and we will go forward with what we need to do here. Okay, seeing none, we're going to go into council discussion at this time. Council, so we can either talk or you can start making motions on where you want to go. Anybody? Okay, we are ready to adopt.
Do we get the chart up there that has the
I'm going to put the rates back up.
the rates back up?
Absolutely.
Thank
And if you don't mind, it is my great honor. I have been very fortunate to work with some amazing people in county government. And it takes a lot to work in a budget office for your career. And I have my assistant budget director, Phyllis Schwartz, who will be retiring next Friday. So it's with a heavy heart. I'm going to ask her if she wouldn't mind coming in and reading the millage rates and your motion for tonight's conclusion.
Evening.
Welcome.
I will. I will. I promise. Yes. So the first part of our public hearing tonight is for you to adopt each one of the millage rates that we have, taxing authorities. And it has been my honor to serve the citizens of Volusia County, so thank you. The general fund ad valorem tax rate of 5.6994 mils is equal to the rollback rate.
Motion,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I move the approval for the general fund ad valorem tax rate of 5.6944 mils equal to the rollback rate.
Motion by Councilwoman Cusack, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any objections to the motion? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
The library fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.5520 mils is 7.5% greater than the rollback rate of 0.5135 mils.
I move to approve the millage rate, or I'm sorry, the library millage rate of 0.5520.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilwoman Post and seconded by Councilman Lowry. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
The Volusia Forever operating fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.0994 mils is 17.9% greater than the rollback rate of 0.0843 mils.
Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
motion to approve the Volusia Forever .0994 rate, millage rate.
Motion by Councilwoman Wheeler, seconded by
Second.
somebody?
Second.
Cusack, sorry, by Cusack. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
The Volusia Forever fund voted debt ad valorem rate is 0.1006.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the Volusia Forever voted debt at 0.1006 mils.
Motion by Councilman Patterson, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
The Volusia Echo Fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.2 mils is 7.4% greater than the rollback rate of 0.1863.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Volusia Echo at 0.2000 mils.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Patterson, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
The East Volusia Mosquito Control District Fund ad valorem rate of 0.1880 mils is 6.8% greater than the rollback rate of 0.1761 mils.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the East Volusia Mosquito Control District rate of 0.1880.
Motion by Councilwoman Post, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. You're doing a great job.
The Ponce de Leon Inlet and Port District Fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.0929 mils is 6.8% greater than the rollback rate of 0.0870 mils.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Ponce de Leon Port Authority at 0.0929 mils.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Patterson, seconded by Councilwoman Cusack. Any opposition to the motion? See no opposition, motion carries unanimously.
The Municipal Service District Fund ad valorem tax rate of 2.2399 mils is 6.7% greater than the rollback rate of 2.0987 mils.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Municipal Services District, especially where I live, at 2.2399 mils.
Motion by Councilman Patterson, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimously.
The Silver Sands Bethune Beach Fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.0150 mils is 7.1% greater than the rollback rate of 0.0140 mils.
Madam Chair, I recommend that the Civil Science Beach Civil Sands Bethune Beach Fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.0150 mils.
Motion by Councilwoman Cusack, seconded by Councilwoman Wheeler. Any opposition to the motion? Motion carries unanimously.
The fire district fund ad valorem tax rate is 4.0815. Is 6.7% greater than the rollback rate of 3.8253 mils.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Fire Rescue Services District at 4.0815 mils.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Patterson, seconded by Councilman Lowry. Any opposition to the motion?
I would also ask.
Motion passes unanimously. That's okay. You're
Sorry about that.
okay.
Ask that the council also approve the accompanying resolution that's in your packet for the millage rates.
Before we answer that, yes, ma'am. Council, I don't know what your thoughts are, but Councilwoman Cusack, I think this is your last budget that you're going to vote on for the citizens of our great Volusia County, and what a time when we are voting out debt and not increasing our taxes for our citizens in the general fund. I think it would be only appropriate, Councilwoman Cusack, that you make the motion for the final budget.
And you can take blame, too.
I'll do it every time. Madam Chair, I move the approval to adopt the fiscal year 2018-2019 tentative operating budget totaling $768,755,651, and a non-operating budget of $148,000,044,123.
The accompanying resolution.
And the accompanying resolution.
And resolution.
So we have a motion, the final motion of Councilwoman Cusack's wonderful career here at Volusia County. We have a motion by Councilwoman Cusack and a seconded by Councilwoman Lowry. Councilman, yeah, it's late.
It is late.
Like,
Any opposition to the motion? Right? I'm not even looking. There is no opposition to the motion.
I'll never live that down.
And there's no opposition to the motion, but discussion, motion carries. Mr. Rechtenwald.
Well, yeah, I just need to clarify. Well, I heard the non-operating budget of 141,044,123.
Read
that-
into the record. Yes, sir.
yes. It was.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Just to clarify for the record, thank you, Mr. Rechtenwald. And thank you for your eloquent reading of the millage, and for your last time, thank you.
Let me share that.
Would you like to say anything? Come on up. Nobody else will talk to us.
I know. We take 1 second. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. This is my 23rd budget.
Wow.
I've had other years in other county, and it's been an honor to be in this profession. And I thank all the department heads and all the people I know here. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. So thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to stand up. With that, Mr. Rechtenwald, anything else? Are we good?
We're good.
We are really good. Council is adjourned. Thank you. Boom.
Rock and roll.
That would be me.